so you know, here's what I believe.
Our very own Joe McElderry has returned to the Northeast as part of his radio tour promoting his new single, and he's popped into the Star Studios for a quick chat.
Here's what I believe. Good luck with your part-time love.
Hi, welcome to the
Hello,
Northeast.
thank you very much.
Obviously, it's home.
Yes, it's good to be back.
How much time do you get to spend up here?
It depends. You know, I've been recording since January, so I've had a bit more of a routine. You know, I've been able to come back and do some recording up here, then go to London, then go wherever else. So it's been a lot recently, but like the past few weeks I've been everywhere, so it starts to get less and less until about Christmas time. So but I would say on average at the minute probably about once or twice a week, but soon it's probably only going to be like once every 2 weeks or something. But I don't mind, because I know that eventually I'll get quite a lot of time here, so it's good.
Do you prefer being up here to being down in London?
I don't think it's that I prefer, I just think that, you know, when I come back up here I can just really like chill out, relax from work, really have a day off. You know, that's the only time I really come up. Otherwise, because if I'm working I'm just everywhere. So it's nice to just come back and go out for food where I live with friends and just chill out. So it's not that I prefer it, it's just kind of, it feels normal.
Is it hard to kind of be normal and do those things with your friends when you're at home with being recognised and stuff like that? Does it invade it?
To be honest, I kind of, it's happened for such a long time now and I'm used to getting recognised, but I still do find it strange in certain situations. So sometimes you can never tell. Sometimes I can get right the way around a shop or through a restaurant and nobody, like, you know, if I keep my head down, nobody would see us. Or other times, the whole restaurant's like up, everybody's like really excited. It just depends. So it's more the kind of trying to work out whether you're going to get recognised or not, if you know what I mean. Because I've kind of, you can never tell what's going to happen. It just takes one person to recognise you and then like, boom,
Yeah.
It goes crazy. Or other times you can just slip through and nobody sees you. So it depends really. It depends where you are and what situation you're in.
And speaking of like fans and kind of Twitter, I know we've had a huge response to you coming in today on our Twitter, but we've got a lot of things in the press at the moment about trolls and people getting abuse on Twitter. Do you get that, and how do you deal with it?
To be honest with you, I mean, obviously people write nasty comments and things on YouTube and tweets, but I'm not actually. On Twitter, I'm quite fortunate that a lot of it's not actually directed to my Twitter. So I don't know if I have lots. I've never really searched my name and found, like, looked at negative stuff. But I imagine people will say negative stuff. But I see, like, a lot of people getting tagged in the tweets. But I don't really get tagged in them, if there is any. Which is good, because it's a horrible thing to have to sit and read things like that, especially when that's your Twitter page. You know, that's your space to connect with people that actually want to support you, and you've got stupid people trying to spoil it and like mess it up. So I see it for other people, and I find it really, I think it's disgusting that somebody would want to sit behind a screen, and it's a bit cowardly. You know, if you don't like somebody, then fair enough, you're allowed to have an opinion, but you don't. Why if you don't like them that much, why have you got the time to tell them?
Exactly.
That's what I think.
Out and
yeah, like if you don't like, do they really make that much of an impact in your life that you have to tell them? I just think it's a bit silly.
And you probably get sick of this, but it's that time of year again, and I'm going to ask you about that.
Oh, of course.
Have you been watching it? Did you watch it the weekend?
I seen about 20 minutes of it. I was going out, so I didn't see the whole thing. I've seen 20 minutes of it. I don't really know what to think of it yet. I feel like it's too early, but I wasn't blown away by the first episode, but I'm sure it always gets exciting as it gets on and on.
Did you see any of the Mel B stuff when she was judging?
I didn't, but I heard about it.
My goodness, she did not sugar the pill for
really?
those people. Oh, even when the rest of them were being really positive, she was like, "Nah, you're boring."
I suppose, you know, she's part of the biggest girl group ever, you know, so maybe it's just that she's kind of looking for that, you know, something that can be as big as that, and maybe she wasn't impressed. But I don't know, I think if I was on the panel, I would, if I wanted to be honest, I would wrap it up nicely still, you know, because, you know, it's hard standing up there in front of all those people. And yes, you put yourself forward to be judged by the judges, but at the end of the day, they can still tell you that you're not very good by being polite. You don't have to be horrible.
I was just about to say, you've been there, you've done it. What advice do you have to people setting out on this journey now?
You've got to really be, if you want to sustain like a career in the industry, you've got to be interested in music. You can't just want to be famous or want to go on the X Factor because it's the X Factor, because at the end of the day, that only runs for 6 months, and then after that, you've got to be dedicated to keep going and keep working hard. You know, you suffer feel back, like fallbacks, positive things, highs and lows. It's like a bit of a roller coaster, and the music and the passion for that gets you through all of that, you know, because you have to work really hard and be dedicated to it. So I would say be interested in it, be prepared to work hard, and don't change for the show, you know, be yourself. Because if you try and change yourself, it shines through, and especially when you've got millions of cameras on you and people judging you anyways.
Obviously, you've said about working hard afterwards. You've worked hard afterwards, and you have another album coming out very soon, and a new single and everything.
Fourth one.
Oh, so tell me about this one. What kind of style of music is it?
Well, you know, the last one was kind of the classical kind of like side of stuff after Pop Star Opera Star. This one's it's kind of back to what I know, but it's also a bit more different because it's the first time that I've done some songwriting on this album. The first single, Here's What I Believe, is a song that I co-wrote with Marcella Detroit from the Shakespeare Sisters. So it's quite different, but at the same time, I think it's similar to what people would expect from us, but it shows a lot of growth. With the experiences I've had in the past year, you know, vocally, I learned so much last year with doing the Pop Star Opera Star show and the 2 albums last year, and I think this album really shows growth and development in my voice and just as an artist as well, I think.
I've been having a little listen to the album. There's a lot of, you know, heartfelt kind of love messages.
Yes.
Is there anything that inspired this in particular?
Well, you know, there's always, you know, you can always draw on personal experiences of relationships and friendships and things when you're writing songs. There's 3 songs on there, and the 3 that I've wrote are kind of based on, you know, caring for somebody, being let back down by somebody, then kind of, you know, all the different concepts of love, you know, like of what happens. So yeah, personal experiences, you have to draw on them when you're songwriting. And if you listen to the songs, you'll understand what the personal experiences are.
Do you have a favourite song on the album?
Probably either What Have I Done or Here's What I Believe, yeah. I think there's something about hearing songs when you've written them yourself and hearing them from the beginning to the end when they've all been produced and all the music's been played on it. And it's really exciting to hear them, you know, especially like listening to them and hearing them on the radio after I just heard them like not even with any lyrics and just strumming a guitar with somebody. You know, it's really exciting.
And you've been through quite a few different styles of music, got a lot of strings to your bow. What's your favourite kind of music to be working on?
I would probably say favourite kind is I enjoy it all because I think you feel different emotions when you sing all different styles. You know, I love nothing better than having a proper dance to a pop song and singing it and performing it. Then I love it singing a ballad to get the emotion across, and a classical song makes people like, you know, really feel something. So they're all different styles. I don't really know if there's any that I enjoy more than others. I enjoy fitting them all into a show and putting it out there and kind of making a set around all the different styles. That's more interesting than actually picking a style that I...
Obviously you're lucky, you can do all of them. A lot of people...
I never get bored, put it that way.
Yeah. Now, as I mentioned earlier, we had a huge response. You've seen the people outside.
Yeah.
People have been tweeting me and the radio station all of yesterday. Last night, in the middle of the night, I was getting tweets. So we've got some questions for you from your fans. Hannah wants to know, are you looking forward to the Paralympic ceremony?
Yes, that's going to be really fun. I'm going to be basically following the Paralympic torch with Sainsbury's and performing kind of a show at each place when the torch arrives. So I think I'm going to Belfast on Friday, Edinburgh Saturday, Cardiff and Aylesbury. So it'll be really good. You know, I did something a couple of weeks back for the Olympics in Hyde Park. So it's great that I've been able to be a part of both of them. So I'm really looking forward to that, and I'm looking forward to seeing everyone, obviously, because everybody's going to be really excited because of the torch going into the towns, and so yeah, it's a bit of a privilege to be a part of.
Great. And Leanne wants to know, if you could duet with anyone, who would it be and why?
Everybody who's heard me say interviews before know that I say this one all the time, but Beyonce. Absolutely, she's my idol. You know, I think she's one of the ultimate performers of our time. Incredible. So I would love to
Maybe
sing.
she'd bring Jay-Z with her as well.
Oh yeah, well
Trio.
that would be different, wouldn't it? Maybe Beyonce and Jay-Z. Who would have thought
Well,
it?
look out for it. You heard it here first. And Sarah Costello wants to know, which song on the new album do you have the deepest emotional connection with?
Wow,
I know.
that's heavy stuff.
From Beyonce to emotional connections.
Probably, What Have I Done? It's quite a sad one. It's about a relationship, and you're breaking up with somebody, and then you kind of have so many questions that you need answering, but you can't get the answers because you're not with the person anymore, and you find it hard to move on. So it's quite it's quite a deep emotional song.
Okay. And from that to Jacqueline wanting to know, how are Hugo, Chanel and Boss the bunnies?
These are the rabbits, the pet rabbits. They're great. They're really, really good. I think they're gonna have to go and stay with one of my friends for a few months while I'm working, because I literally do not have time to look after them. So
well, maybe Jacqueline will have them.
yeah.
Geordie wants to know, would you ever this is my favourite question, would you ever like to voice a character in a Disney film?
Oh.
And would you be a goodie or a baddie?
That would be really fun. I'd love to sing a Disney theme tune. That would be pretty, that's like a big thing to be a part of. If I was a character, probably the baddies always have more fun in them films, don't they? They always have better voices, I always think,
They do, but they get their comeuppance as well.
Yeah.
You have to remember that.
That's true. Yeah, maybe it depends what film it was. I would have loved to have been the voice of Pinocchio.
Why Pinocchio?
It was one of my favourite. It was one of my favourite films when I was a kid.
Really scary.
I used to be petrified about it, but once I got past that, I wanted it to look like Pinocchio. I know that's weird, but that's true.
So you want it to be wooden?
Just he was small and he had a little hat and
He had
a
very
little cool outfit.
He
Yeah.
did. He did.
So, and the black shoes, so
Yeah.
it sounds weird, but when you're a kid, anything's possible.
So look out for him starring in Pinocchio anytime soon. Joe, do you want to introduce your new single for us, which you're going to be performing right here?
This is my new single, Here's What I Believe. Hope you enjoy it.